Hello musical explorers, welcome to another lesson. Today we're going to continue to do our level 1 basics of keyboard theory book. So I believe we're doing level 7 today, so let's hop straight into our lesson. Alright musical explorers, we are going to learn about our C, F, and G major and minor 5-finger patterns and triads. So let's read all about it. A 5-finger pattern is created by placing all 5 fingers on 5 keys that are next to each other on the piano. So this is what the left hand is going to look like, and this is what the right hand is going to look like. So, the lowest note of the 5-finger pattern names it. The notes alternate between lines and spaces. All notes are a second apart. All steps, no skips. So basically what it's trying to say is that on our keyboard, notice how all of our fingers are a step away, because it skips one note only, and it doesn't go from C to E, it goes from C to D. So it doesn't skip, but it skips by steps. Okay? Like a full step, a whole step, okay? All right. And also on our 5 lines, we have them written down, and we can see how they are alternate between lines and spaces. So one note is on a line, one note is on a space, one note is on a line, space, line, space, right? And so they're alternate, right? Okay, that was a little hard to explain, but I hope that explained it to you guys. But let's move on to our next page. All right. Major 5-finger patterns have whole steps between all keys except keys 3 and 4, where there is a half step. So there are going to be half steps that occur. For example, in our F major, we can see that there is a B flat. So there's going to be a half step between A and B flat because of the key signature. All right. The notes of each major 5-finger pattern are the same as the first 5 notes of the major scale with the same name. So it's basically just taking the major scale of that note and only taking the first 5 notes. That's what it's trying to say. It's basically the same thing, but we're only taking the first 5 notes. All right. We're also going to be learning about triads, which is going to be really fun because I personally just really love triads because, I don't know, they sound really good. Okay, a triad is a 3-note chord. Triads are based on the interval of a third. The first, third, and fifth notes of the major 5-finger pattern makes the major triad. The notes are called root, third, and fifth. The root of the triad names it. So, after we know about the 5-finger pattern, to make a triad, we are going to take our first, third, and fifth note and block them to create a triad. But we can also create broken triads like this, where the notes aren't stacked upon, or where the notes are not stacked above each other, just like that. All right, let's see. Circle each major triad in the following example. Some are blocked and some are broken. All right. So we're going to be doing just that. Okay. So let's see. All right, let's do that. Okay. So we see here that there is, okay, hold on. Let's find the major. Let's see. Okay. So, sorry. Like we learned before, that's what a triad looks like, and that's what a broken triad looks like. So we're going to try to find these block and broken triads in this little excerpt. And yeah, and we're basically going to highlight it. We're going to highlight it, okay? Awesome. So let's start here. So we see how this is first, third, and fifth, right? Because it basically skips a note each time. It skips how do I put this? It skips a white key each time. So there's D, F, and A. So we know that is going to be a triad because it is a broken triad. It is the root, third, and fifth. So this, if we don't already notice, is actually in, sorry, I'm going to make this clear for you guys. So this is a D major, right? It's a D major key signature. And so we see, yeah, that's the first, third, and fifth note of our D major scale. Well, that is actually something else to worry about, but for now we're just gonna like identify what these major triads look like. So, and these are good examples of major triads, all of these, because they all skip one white key, right? But these, like these, they're just single notes, right? So they are not triads. So that's basically, I believe, what this exercise wants us to do is to like identify triads. So yeah, it doesn't have to go that deep, to be honest. So yeah, and these are also some major triads here because yeah, like we said before, they look just like that. They are blocked triads. But these are not F major triads, these are D major triads. So we know that both of these are going to be it because they are the same, the exact same. Got it? That was a little confusing. Personally, I don't know about, like, I don't know, like, what the benefits to this exercise is because it is a little confusing to read at first. But basically, I guess they just want us to learn and identify these triads. But anyways, moving on, let's do our second exercise. Circle the notes in these scales that make the major 5-finger pattern. Draw the 5-finger pattern and triad. The first one is given. Okay, so now we're gonna draw some 5-finger patterns and some triads, but we're also gonna be circling our like 5-finger patterns from our major scales. So here is the major scale that we are given. It is the F major scale. So, like I said before, we're gonna first, we're gonna highlight the 5-finger pattern in this scale. So the 5-finger pattern basically appears in the first 5 notes of our major scale, which is really easy because we're gonna just highlight that by highlighting the first 5 notes, just like that. That is going to be our 5-finger pattern. So yeah, and all we have to do is just copy the thing we highlighted here, the 5-finger pattern, and draw it again over here on our second measure here. So let's draw it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and don't forget the B flat because it is in F major. Don't forget the key signatures, right? All right, now we're gonna make a triad. So, little review from before, a triad is made out of the root, third, and fifth note of our 5-finger pattern. So basically what it's telling us is to create a triad, we are gonna take the first, third, and fifth note of our 5-finger pattern, stack them above each other, and then we're gonna have a major triad. So I'm gonna highlight the ones we're gonna use, although that's not required, but it's gonna be easier for you guys to see it. So by using those notes and stacking them above each other to create a block triad, that is gonna look like this. So we're just gonna draw these 3 notes stacked above each other to create a triad. So it's gonna look exactly like that. That is our triad. That is our F major triad. Got it? Amazing. Let's do the same process now, but hopefully we can go over it a little bit faster because I had to take some time explaining. So yeah, and I hope it's clearer for you guys now that I've explained it. So let's highlight the first 5 notes because of the 5-finger pattern. So it's going to be like that. And then now we're just gonna draw this again over here. Like that. Now we're gonna use the first, third, and fifth, or we call this root to be more like professional, I guess, but it's basically the root means the most bottom note or the most, like the very first note. So that is our root note. So we use our root, third, and fifth. We stack them to create a triad like that. Got it? That is going to be our C major triad. All right, that's how we make major triads. If that, yeah, we just create major triads like that. And yeah, I hope that was easy for you guys to understand, hopefully, although that took a while for me to explain, but it's okay. Let's move on to our next page. Okay, so let's see what we have here. C major, G major, and F major 5-finger patterns and triads are similar. Each triad only has white keys and no sharps or flats. The keys that make the triads are circled. Study the keyboard above. Which 5-finger pattern includes a black key? Let's see. So, is it in C major? Do you see any black keys? No. Is it in G major? Do you see any black keys? Nope. What about F major? Do you see any black keys? Well, yeah, we do. We see a B flat, right? That is a black key. So, for this one, we're going to write F major because we see a B flat there, right? So, we're going to write F major. All right. What is the name of this black key? Like we said before, it is a B flat key, right? So we're just gonna write B flat. All right. Okay. To change a major 5-finger pattern or triad into a minor 5-finger pattern into a minor 5-finger pattern, the middle note is lowered a half step. In the keys of C, F, and G major, the third is lowered by adding a flat before the notes. So, as we can see, this is C major, this is C minor. Now, in order to transform from this to this, we lower the third note, right? We lower it by a half step. So in this case, we flat it because that's going to be how we're going to lower it by a half step, right? And if we're doing it in a triad, like C major triad to a C minor triad, we still lower the third note to create it into a minor. Okay, let's do this one now. So we are given all of these, we are given all of these major 5-finger patterns, but now we're going to transform them into the minor that are given to us, okay? So, from C major to C minor. Remember, always lower the third note by a half step. So in this case, this is an E. We're going to lower it by a half step into a E flat. From an A, we're going to lower it to an A flat. From a B, we're going to lower it to a B flat. From a C note, oh, that's not a C. Oh, okay, we have to be careful now. We're in treble clef. Remember, we're in treble clef. So that's not a C anymore. I was reading in bass clef, so we got to be careful. This is an A. This is an A. So to lower it half step, it's going to become an A flat. E becomes an E flat. And D becomes a D. Oh, okay, I did that again. Okay, we have to be careful. This is a treble clef now. So this is a B. So this is going to be a B flat, not a D flat. B flat. All right, always focus on our clefs because it is very important and it can like mess up our answers very easily. So we have to be careful with that. All right, great. Let's move on to our next page. Wow, this lesson's pretty long, but let's get through all of this, okay? Okay, number 5. Change these triads from major to minor by drawing a flat before the third, the middle note. So, like we did before, we're going to lower the third note again to create it into a minor. All right, so let's see. This one is a G major to a G minor. So lower the third, B turns into a B flat. Okay, this one is an A. A turns into an A flat. E turns into an E flat. A turns into an A flat. B turns into a B flat. And E turns into a B. E turns into an E flat. Just like that. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? All right. So let's do some more exercises. Now we're going to name these 5-finger patterns. So something to watch out is that we actually also have minor 5-finger patterns. So we have to watch out. So they're not only majors anymore, okay? Got it. So for majors, okay, let me just write something. So this is how I'm going to write major, and this is how I'm going to write minor. Major is just going to be M-A-J, and minor is going to be M-I-N, because, whoa, the camera, okay. So major is going to be M-A-G, or M-A-J, and minor is going to be M-I-N, for it to be like a little bit shorter, so we don't have to write the whole word. Okay, moving on. Our exercise B, we have, what is that? Do we see any sharps or flats or accidentals? No, that means that's a C major scale, or C major 5-finger pattern. So C major. All right. This is also a C, well, supposedly, it's supposed to be a C major, but the third is lowered. What does that mean? It's a minor now, right? It's a C minor 5-finger pattern. Awesome. Next page. What do we see? We see the third is lowered, so that must be a minor, right? Yeah. So what is this note? This is a G, so it's a G minor. G minor. What about this one? Do we see any, see the third being lowered? No, so that's a major. So we can write major first, because we know it's a major. Now to find the key, we just find out what the first note is, and in this case, it is a G. So this is a G major. What about this one? Do we see the third being lowered? Well, yeah, it's being lowered by a half step. That means this is a minor key. Well, what is the first key? Or what is the first key? It is a F. So it's an F minor. And yeah. Now, let's move on to the next one. Do we see the third being lowered? Nope. That means this is a major key. What is our first note? F. So this is an F major. What about this one? Is the third lowered? Nope. So this is a major. Well, what is the first key? It's a G. So this is a G major. Okay, next one. Is the third being lowered? Yes, it is. So it's going to be a minor. Now, what's the first note? It is a C. So it's a C minor. See how easy that was? Yeah, we went through it pretty fast. Now let's move on to our next page. Wow, this is a pretty long lesson. Okay, so looks like it's the last page. Okay, so we are going to be doing, match these triads with their names by drawing lines to connect them again. Okay, that's great. Let's actually draw the lines now. Okay, so let's see the first one. Actually, I think it's still going to be messy if we draw lines. So we're going to label them by their names. Okay? Awesome. So let's do the first one. Is that a major or a minor? It is a minor because the third is being lowered by a half step. That means this is a G minor. I'm going to write it on top of it like that, G minor. Got it. What about this one? This one's a major because third is not being lowered. So this is a C major. What about this one? It's not a minor, so it's a major. It's an F major. This one is also a major. It is a G major. What about this one? Wow, this one's a minor, right? So this is a C minor. C minor, C minor because the first note is a C, right? We look at the bass note or the first note, like the note on the bottom to find out what key it is. This one is an F minor because third is lowered. F minor. Got it. Awesome. Next exercise, name these triads. All right. So, yeah, we have less and less space. Okay. How about this? Instead of writing maj and min, we're going to write uppercase M and lowercase m. Uppercase M is major, lowercase m is minor. Okay? Alrighty. So, this one is a minor, right? Because third is lowered. Lowercase m, minor. What is the key? It is a F minor. So, F minor. F lowercase m. Okay. What about this one? This one looks like a C major triad, right? Because third is not lowered. So it's C major. This one is also a major. It's a G major. First note is G. Middle note is not being lowered. So let me actually write a key because it looks a little bit sketchy. Okay, so we're going to do just like that, okay? For you guys to understand it more. This is a C minor because, let me write that down. Third is lowered and first note is a C. Third is also lowered, first note is a G, so that's a G minor. This is a major, first note is A, F. F major. Awesome. Let's do our last part. Okay, so draw these triads. So now we're going to actually draw triads. So let's just begin. Okay, so F major. So we're going to just stack F, let's see, like this. F, skip a note, G, or F, skip a note, A, skip a note, C. So it's just F, A, C is going to be our triad. Like that. Now, do we have any key signature? Well, we have B flat in F major, but there's no B flats right here. So I think that's good. That's good. Now let's do G major. So we're going to write G here. Next note is a B and a D. You just got to stack them on top of each other like that. See, it's actually really easy. Just stack them, okay? We can even do this without our keyboard. Okay, now what's in G major? There's F. Well, there's no F here, so I think we're good as well. Let's do C minor now. So find C, stack the notes like that. Now, what is in C major? Let's look at the major first. What's in C major? There's no sharps, no flats. But in minor, we lowered the third note, remember? So we're going to do exactly that. So lower the third. Now we have C major, which is what we just talked about, but we don't lower the third, right? Just like that. G minor. Let's make a G major first. In G major, we have F sharp, but since it's a minor, we're going to lower the third. F minor, same thing. You're going to stack the notes and lower the third. F minor. Oh, that's the same thing, right? We just have it in bass clef now, so let's pay attention to that. So we're going to draw F minor, lower the third. G minor, we have like the same thing here, but in bass clef. Lower the third. C major, no key signature, just only the notes, the natural notes. C minor, sorry. C minor, let's see. Stack them together, lower the third. G major, just like that. We're good. Okay, next. F major here. And we don't have to don't have any key signatures because these two are all majors, and the key signature like B flat and F sharp are not in the triad, so we're good to go. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's lesson. This was a really long lesson. We recorded like around 30 minutes. So yeah, we did a lot. Wow. Let's see. Oh my gosh, look. Guys. Wow. Whoa. That is a lot of pages. We did really good today. Yeah. So in our next video, we're going to be doing... we're going to be doing the same thing. How fun. But in different keys now. D, A, E, B. How fun. Okay. I can't wait to do that lesson with you guys as well next time. So, yeah. Alright, Musical Explorers, that's going to be it for today's video. We had a very productive lesson today, and we got a lot done. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in our next lesson. Bye!